Johnston was adopted as a youngster by William and Irene Johnston of Chicago and grew up on Los Angeles West Side in Brentwood and Bel Air. His adopted family is Irish and his grandparents are from Market Hill, County Armagh. After leaving Walgreens in Chicago, his adopted father became president of the Al Rexel Drug Company in Los Angeles. Johnston went to Bel Air Town and Country School, later called John Thomas Dye School, and the University of California, Los Angeles. In his early years, he also learned classical piano and attended Interlochen Arts Camp. Johnston began listening to modern music in high school. During this time, he played in a few starting bands before moving on to work with young artists like Sandy Nelson, Kim Foley, and Phil Spector. Soon after, Johnston began to support artists such as Ritchie Valens, the Everly Brothers, and Eddie Cochran. While still in high school, Johnston arranged and played on his first hit song, Sandy Nelson's Teen Beat. The track charted in the top 10 on Billboard. The same year, as part of the Bruce and Jerry duet, and by the way, Jerry Cooper was a high school buddy of Bruce Johnston's, Johnston released his debut song under his own name, Take This Pearl, on R1 Records, a record company owned by Doris Day. In 1960, Johnston began his record production career with Delphi Records, where he produced 5 singles in an album by Ron Holden called Love You So, and several of the album's 11 tracks were written or co-written by Johnston. In 1962 and 1963, Johnston resumed his music career with a series of surfing singles, vocal and instrumental, and an album credited to Bruce Johnston, Surfing Around the World, as well as another live album, the Bruce Johnston Surfing Band Surfers Pajama Party. In 1963, he released his first collaboration, a largely instrumental covers album attributed to the Hot Doggers with his buddy Terry Melcher. The Ripcords were the first act developed by Johnston and Melcher. They were now working as staff producers at Columbia Records in Hollywood, and by the time they were creating the million-selling Hey Little Cobra, a ripoff of the Beach Boys' car song vocal style, they were also performing every layered vocal part for the track. They recorded a few songs as Bruce and Terry and the Rogues, but Melcher began to focus more on his production business with the Byrds and Paul Revere and the Raiders, just to name a few. Johnston joined the Beach Boys in New Orleans on April 9, 1965, replacing Glenn Campbell, who had briefly stepped in as a touring member for Brian Wilson, but refused an invitation to officially join the band. Johnston did not begin playing bass until his first stint with the Beach Boys, and his first contributions as a Beach Boy were on the Summer Days and Summer Nights album. However, due to contractual obligations, he was neither acknowledged or pictured on a Beach Boys album until Wild Honey in 1967. Johnston traveled to London in May 1966 and performed Pet Sounds for John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and Keith Moon. 6 of the album's 13 tracks include Johnston's backing vocals. Some of the songs are Wouldn't It Be Nice, You Still Believe in Me, That's Not Me, God Only Knows, Sloop John B., and I Just Wasn't Made for These Times. And he also sang backup vocals on several of the later Smile sessions. He did not participate in most of the Smiley Smile sessions and played on only a few tracks on Wild Honey. This is what he had to say about Smiley Smile.
And it's a very light album, but it's kind of fun to listen to. And wind chimes? Police. I mean, even in this abridged smile called Smiley Smile, I think it's underrated. I think people should take a listen to it. It's really good.
And this is what Bruce Johnston had to say about the 1968 album called Friends.
It's not a bunch of great songs there. Pretty light. I think Little Bird was really... No, that's a pretty lightweight album. You know, I mean, I love Friends. I love the song Friends. I thought that was really great. Really great.
In mid-1969, the Beach Boys invited tour member Billy Hinsche to permanently replace Johnston, but Hinsche chose to focus on his studies at UCLA, and Johnston was unaware of the offer at the time. Johnston's original songs first appeared on the band's recordings, beginning with the instrumental The Nearest Faraway Place from the 2020 album that came out in 1969. Sunflower, according to Johnston, was his favorite Beach Boys album, which came out in 1970. Surf's Up from 1971 included Johnston's most renowned original song for the band, titled Disney Girls, 1957, which was later covered by Cass Elliot, Captain and Tennille, Art Garfunkel, Jack Jones, and Doris Day, among others. He later stated in an interview that 1971 was his favorite year of the group musically since their setlist concentrated on newer material. His final contribution before leaving was backup vocals on the band's 1972 song Marcella. Johnston was fired from the band in 1972. Manager Jack Riley stated that he sacked Johnston at the request of the Wilson brothers. Johnston himself, however, said that
I felt I was being lazy and unproductive. We all felt tense with one another. I'm surprised we didn't all quit. And I kind of have some other ambitions in the business, production ambitions and arranging ambitions, and I was very restricted. And I felt in order to kind of realize these ambitions and save the friendships with the guys, I should leave, and I left. I didn't feel that we really were singing believable lyrics. You know, we were just kind of sliding through the songs, and I just had to leave.
he penned I Write the Songs in the mid-1970s, which was initially sung by Captain and Tennille. Barry Manilow's Billboard #1 success with the song earned Johnston a Grammy Award for Song of the Year in 1977. I Write the Songs would go on to be covered by over 200 artists, including Frank Sinatra. In 1977, Johnston performed vocal arrangements and sang backup vocals on Eric Carmen's album Boats Against the Current, and can be heard on the smash single She Did It, which was inspired by the Beach Boys' 1968 hit Do It Again. During this time, Johnston also wrote backup vocal arrangements for Elton John and performed on his records, including Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, as well as numerous songs on Pink Floyd's album The Wall. Even though he was no longer an official member of the band, Johnston continued to make cameos on their albums beginning in the mid-1970s. Concurrently, he launched a solo career. Going Public, his third solo album, was released in 1977 and featured Johnston's original rendition of I Write the Songs, as well as a disco remix of his 1970 Beach Boys song Deidre. After Manhattan-based underground DJ David Mancuso promoted the recording, Johnston would score success from the album on the disco charts with a dance-oriented version of the Shantae's single Pipeline. Towards Brian Wilson's request, Johnston rejoined the Beach Boys at the end of 1978 to appear on and co-produce the album L.A. for Light album. He was listed as the only producer on the follow-up LP Keeping the Summer Alive the following year. Johnston has stayed with the Beach Boys ever since, and he was the only member to continue touring as the Beach Boys with Mike Love following Carl Wilson's death. During the preparation of his 2006 book Catch a Wave, The Rise, Fall, and Redemption of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson biographer Peter Ames Carlin contacted Johnston. Johnston, on the other hand, was hesitant to be interviewed and only provided a few thoughts through email. Willow Jarson, the band's publishing business, is still owned equally by Johnston, and he is the only member of the band to have won a Grammy Award for Song of the Year. After Love, Johnston is the Beach Boys' longest-serving active member as of 2021. Johnston reformed the California music lineup in 2021 with members of the Beach Boys and their families. In April 2021, Omnivore Recordings released its debut album, California Music Presents Add Some Music. And that's it for what happened to Bruce Johnston. He is still alive and well as of July 2021. Thank you for watching the video, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I have a playlist in the link in the description below on other Beach Boys I've done. I've done Carl, Brian Wilson, and Mike Love, and Bruce Johnston is the 4th Beach Boy I've done. Let me know if you have any video ideas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.